Hey everybody, this is Chris from The Mines. I'm going to be answering your questions today, so let's get started. What basic mineralogical knowledge do you think is necessary before starting an online crystal shop? So, a lot of people starting crystal businesses right now have zero information or knowledge about the business and the stones. You know, anything you're going to sell, you have to know the item better than the person you're selling it to. So I would say that if you're going to start a crystal business, then you need to spend an appropriate amount of time learning more than the consumer knows. I think also understanding, market pricing as far as what minerals go for on the market, as far as wholesale and retail goes, knowing both of those prices is important. So, you're making sure that you're buying at a correct price and you're selling at a correct price. And also knowing locality, where the thing came from, was it ethically sourced? Those are also important things. All right, so many people are selling crystals. How do we know what is real and what is not? So this is a really big issue right now for people who are collecting stones, especially people who are trying to use stones for lifestyle or holistic things, metaphysics. It all boils down to trust. If you're going to find a dealer in China, you're going to get what they send you. And there's no way to really find out if they're trustworthy or not until you pay for your stuff and get your stuff and figure out what it is. Typically, I tell customers, if you're going to start doing stuff like that, dealing with China or India or Pakistan, then you want to make sure you use PayPal at least so you can get money back, or you can dispute the claim if you get fake stuff or not what you ordered. So really, the best thing to do is, one, have a vendor you trust who their integrity is more important than the dollar. A lot of the times, everyone's thinking with, how do I save myself 50 cents or $1? If you want to save yourself 50 cents or $1, you're going to lose 10. I've been saying that for years. Save $1, lose 10. And if you're in business long enough, you know what that means. It means like when you try to take shortcuts or you try to backdoor stuff or get things for just a little bit cheaper, you're always going to get what you pay for. So sometimes there's people that come in here and they've been buying from China or India and they're comparing China or India's prices to my prices. And they're like, well, why are your prices higher than China and India? And it's because of the quality and how we make stuff and manufacture stuff. Also, we don't have anything unethical going on in our manufacturing plants and our distribution plants, where a lot of manufacturing plants and distribution plants in some of these Eastern countries are not always doing things the right way. And I don't want to get into details or point fingers because I don't know facts, but I do know that there's quite a few companies, doing things that are seriously disturbing. I said to somebody once, how is it possible that you can buy an 8mm beaded bracelet from China for $1? Like, it's impossible. It costs me more than that just to make the thing. So how is it possible that they can sell it to you? Either they're fake, or they're being made by a child, or it's not real stone. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they sell it for that price, because I manufacture, and I can tell you there's no way on God's green earth they can make and sell those things for $1 if they're doing it ethically. Price is a big part of it. If someone's selling something super, super, super cheap, then that's kind of a red flag right there. You're not going to know until you get stuff, but you can really, really trust your dealer, your vendor. If you don't know who your vendor is, you're definitely taking a leap of faith. But if you use PayPal, then you always have the possibility of, fighting it or getting a claim on it or disputing it. If a dealer is telling you to send them money, Western Union or wire money, don't do it. PayPal is the way. What are the best crystals to buy when you're first starting your small business? Is there a particular crystal you should have first, or ? The thing that I see, and I've explained this numerous times, everyone buys the same thing. So it's really tough to resell the thing when you have 5,000 people with the same thing. My suggestion to new clients, especially ones that don't have their mind set on anything yet, is diversify and buy different stuff, get unique pieces, because that's what the market is calling for right now. Everybody and their mother is selling ocean jasper. Everybody's selling moons. Everybody's selling small selenite items and little points. And it's the same thing. 90% of my customers have the same stuff on their carts across the board. And it makes it really difficult for you to be diverse or help you to be unique or special in the business, because everyone's selling the same exact things. My suggestion always is find a different way to do things, or find something that's a little bit more unique or particular to you, and don't just chase the trends. I mean, yes, if moons are popular right now, you need to buy and sell moons, because that's a smart business thing to do. But that's not going to set you apart from everybody else if everybody else is selling moons. Being special and specialized is super important. What do you think about hurting the earth when mining? So this is like the best question I can be asked, period, because how many times I see people making ignorant comments about you're hurting the earth or put the stones back in the earth or all this other stuff when you're not a vegetarian, you eat animals. You know, how are you going to say, oh, it's horrible that you're hurting a stone? Like, what do you think our streets are made of? What do you think our sidewalks are made of? What is your house made of? How many trees got cut down to make your house? How many pieces of stone were uprooted from the earth to build your kitchen and your bathrooms, like your patios? I mean, it's just the most ridiculous thing ever. I'm probably going to get flack for saying it, but I mean, it's so ignorant. It's like, if you eat animals and you use any kind of paper product or any kind of wood product, or you have any kind of cement or tile or stone in your house, like, how is that not bothering you, but it bothers you that someone took a rose quartz off the side of a mountain? It's my ultimate pet peeve, because listen, it's honorable that you're, concerned about the earth and whatever it is, but why don't you stop driving your gas guzzling car? Look at if you're driving a car that's a gas fueled car and takes oil, then why are you complaining about a rock being taken out of the ground? It makes no sense to me. It's like, I don't need the rock so I can complain about that while I use and destroy the earth in my own ways. It's just so silly. Yeah, so I have a question here about international clients and how we do business with international clients. So the thing is with international business is always about the shipping. And most international clients who are looking to do sales under $5,000, I usually recommend that they go to something local, even if the local prices are higher, because the shipping cost is so expensive. For me, $10,000 is kind of the minimum I want to apply to an international order, because it's going to make sense for the person and for me, as far as monetarily speaking goes anyway. Oh man, this guy's ready to go. I gotta go check him out, Rami.
All right.
Yeah,
You want to continue writing?
Yeah. I'll just go check him out. What is your take on crystals and metaphysics and spiritual properties? I've done a really great job over the last 5-6 years of just diverting away from that question, especially when customers come in asking me about it. I feel it's like super speculative. I don't think that there's any right or wrong answer. I think it's something that you personally connect to. I know that there's pop culture, crystal books and things like that out there, like Crystal Bible and Book of Stones and things like that. I would never prescribe to any of that. I'm the kind of person that likes to figure out things for myself. I wouldn't really take my P's and Q's from anybody else. So for me, like, let's just say that I was going to prescribe to the fact that, in my opinion, it is a fact that stones have energy properties, right? So I would hold a stone in my hand and I would be like, okay, this stone feels like this vibration or that vibration. I usually tell clients when they're first starting their businesses, if you're trying to run a business, stay away from the metaphysics, stay away from the spiritual stuff, because you're going to close yourself off to so many people. Typically, the people who are into the energy properties of the stones are going to buy stones from you or him or her. Either way, it just depends on who's reliable, who's got the good stuff, and it doesn't necessarily boil down to, I think, people needing you to tell them what the stones do. And I think a lot of the times when I've told people, I'm like, it's really up to you. What do you think the stone does? I've seen a better reaction to that, or more like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I never thought about that, as opposed to just being like, hey, let me just spoon feed you information. Taking your P's and Q's from what's out there is probably not the best idea. And formulating your own ideas and figuring out things for yourself, I think, is what makes the most sense when it comes to metaphysics and spiritualism. What were some of the things that helped push your business further quickly? How do you take a small business and make it bigger quickly? Let's just reword that question. For me, having the right people around was imperative. So first it was my wife, who created all of the social media and web content and helped me get organized. Because if anybody knows me, I'm the most disorganized person you're gonna meet. I'm just like doing 20 things at once and getting things just done. Where my wife is like meticulous beyond the word meticulous, and she really organized everything and structured everything. And without her help and guidance, especially in the beginning, this wouldn't be happening, what's going on right now. When my wife kind of stepped away from the business, when we had our kids, Max stepped in and really helped fill that gap for me, because there was a little time period where I was all over the place. That was during the point when we started getting corporate accounts. Danny just being like my wingman, like whatever needs to get done, Danny's there to do it with me. Like we did stuff together that was just like so painful, so difficult, and he was there with me through it. thick and thin. That's what it boils down to. You can't do it by yourself. You need to have the right people around you in order to do it right. That's the biggest thing. And making the right choices. And for me, making the right choice means it's what's best for everybody involved. And the right choice usually involves having to put the most effort in. So those kind of three things: having the right help, giving 100% effort to whatever you choose to do, and then making the right choices based off what's best for everybody involved. If something is quick and fast and easy, usually not the right thing. How do you have time to do all of the things you need to do? So I think this is being asked by a small business owner who I guess is starting a business and is just realizing, okay, there's 5,000 things that I need to do in order to run a business, and how do I do that on my own? So I do 5,000 things, but so does everybody else around me. My secretary / assistant / office administrator / finance manager is Gila. She does the job of literally 10 people. Max does the job of 10 people. Danny does the job of 10 people. Rodney does the job of 10 people. I do the job of 10 people. It's just everyone's doing many, many things. And I was lucky enough over time to find the right people to delegate different jobs to and different work to. So in the beginning, you're going to have to figure it all out on your own. But yeah, it's hours. It's just time. Like in the beginning, I was working, I'm going to say 100 hours a week for about 2 years straight. Everyone has a different way about going about things, but it's like when you're your own boss, you have to make your own checklist. Like no one's going to tell you what to do in the morning. No one's going to tell you what time to wake up. No one's going to tell you what time to go home. No one's going to tell you what your workload is. You as the boss have to dictate those things for yourself. And so I've always been very tough with myself. I've always been, like I always say to people, I'm the worst boss I can possibly have because I'm so tough on myself. And I force myself and push myself beyond the normal limitations so that I can grow the business and provide a life for my family that's going to be adequate for what my standard is. Again, super big question right now is my thoughts on dyed stones, fake stones, and obviously people have heard me say that all moldavite is fake on the market right now. And when I said all moldavite was fake, I didn't mean that every single piece of moldavite that's on Etsy and Instagram is fake. I have clients that bought moldavite from me, 6 or 7 months ago, and they still have some. It's real stuff. What I meant is that all of the material that I'm seeing as far as bulk purchasing goes is fake. So there's still moldavite on the market that's real, but I can't buy real moldavite. Or someone like myself who's a distributor who has to sell it to 200, 300 people can't buy moldavite that's real right now. And all the people who contacted me telling me that I was a liar and that there is real moldavite on the market, I challenge all of those people, anybody, to send me 5 kilos of moldavite. Send me 5,000 grams of moldavite that's real, and then you can, say that I'm a liar. But the truth of the matter is that there is no moldavite for sale right now, not even a small lots. So, I'm not. For me, integrity is more important than the dollar. This is one of the reasons why my business has grown, why we've held on to huge accounts for so long, is because of integrity. So if you can get in the door with someone who has integrity, you're always going to be okay because they're always going to tell you the truth. Like sometimes we have opalite here, and we will always tell you, hey, it's opalite, it's synthetic. We don't carry a lot of synthetic stones, but opalite is a popular one and everybody wants it, and it is synthetic. So we will tell you here, hey, that's a synthetic stone. Anything that's aura or titanium is going to be coated in semi-precious metals, and we'll tell you that as well. So, transparency is key. I don't know. If you don't trust your dealer, then that's the big problem. If you trust your dealer, then you don't have a problem identifying because they'll tell you the truth. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope I was able to help you with some of your questions, and I'll talk to you soon.